So the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, we've been seeing him come out a little bit more and more. He spoke on Dillian White's knockout loss to Alexander Povetkin. And I also seen a video of him on YouTube shooting some guns. You know, he shot a Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle. He shot out various types of pistols. And the champ seems to be doing fine. Okay. You know, despite the reports of him having a dented cranium and all these other things, he seems to be all right to me. Now, what I want to talk about in this video is basically who should Deontay Wilder have in his corner, or who should he bring into camp to help him prepare for his trilogy fight with Tyson Fury. Now, Floyd Mayweather recently came out and said that he could help Wilder, and you know he could help Wilder beat Fury. You know, and Fury came out and said, no matter what you do, you can't beat me, some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing. So it leads me to think that who should help out Wilder. And my thing with Floyd, though, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys thought this as well. Where was the help for Wilder prior to him losing to Fury? You know, you was co-signing Anthony Joshua, and you didn't really want to endorse Wilder at all. You know, Wilder is the America's heavyweight champion. He was America's heavyweight champion. You should have really been co-signing Deontay Wilder, despite what people said about his technique and all that other bullshit. This dude was a fucking machine, going up in there knocking out anything that moves. You know what I'm saying? But despite all that water under the bridge now, maybe Floyd Mayweather woke up. Okay, a lot of us was looking at Floyd with the side eye, probably about a year ago. But ever since, you know, the recent passing of the mother of his children and his uncle, maybe Floyd Mayweather just kind of woke up, and maybe this is coming out of a place of sincerity. Maybe he's really willing to help Deontay Wilder. He seems to be all in on training these young fighters, and I think Floyd Mayweather does have a lot to offer a guy like Deontay Wilder. Now, will it be enough leading up to a fight with Fury? I'm not sure, but there's a lot of things that Floyd Mayweather could teach Wilder what to do. And Floyd Mayweather is a master boxer, okay? He's probably one of the best boxers of all time. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as teaching it, that's a whole other thing entirely. It's yet to be seen. Also, George Foreman is a guy who I think Wilder could benefit from. George Foreman is a guy who was seemingly like Wilder. You know, he didn't have the prettiest technique, but George Foreman, if you pay attention to George Foreman, you know, a lot of guys say he made like a mummy. He was real slow. Yeah, all that may be true. But despite all that, George Foreman knew how to place them damn punches. He was pretty accurate for a guy that appears to be slow. He'll land them damn punches and he'll get you up. He'll knock you up off your socks. He'll knock your fucking socks off. Okay, George Foreman was a monster. He lost to Ali. He knows what Wilder is going through. Okay, a guy who will seem like a monster, knocking out everything that moves, then you end up getting beat, and then you know what I'm saying. So he has a lot that he can really give to Wilder as well. You know, how to bounce back from a loss, how to place your punches better. You know, Wilder needs somebody in his corner that he'll listen to. Also, another guy I think would be good, and rest in peace to the late Naseem Richardson. I also felt that Naseem Richardson would have been a great asset to Wilder, you know, helping him out. He was already pretty big on Wilder as it is, and I think he would have been really motivated to help Wilder get better and do what he needed to do to beat Tyson Fury. And also, if we had a Naseem Richardson in his corner, we won't be hearing anything about no water bottles or no glove gate, none of that shit, because he would have made sure all corners would have been covered with Naseem Richardson. Rest in peace to the brother Naseem. Another guy I think would be good for Wilder is Buddy McGirt. Now, Buddy McGirt, seen it all, done it all. You know, he has a very good approach to training. He focuses on boxing. You know, he teaches guys how to be on their feet and box. You know, Buddy McGirt is all about being safe in there. You know, he will throw in the towel if things looking ugly for you. If there's no chance for you to win, he will throw in the towel. I'm not sure if that's something that Wilder wants, but Buddy McGirt has a lot of knowledge. He's proven as a trainer as well as a fighter. And I think he also will be a good help to Deontay Wilder. Now, when I'm mentioning these names, it's all about the intentions. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that a lot of these guys should have reached out to Wilder beforehand. Now, maybe they felt that Wilder, really didn't need it. A lot of us felt that Wilder, if all fails, that right hand is going to always back him up. But it didn't work this time for Tyson Fury. And now he's going to need more, a lot more. And I think having the right guy in his corner will be monumental in his success in a rematch against Tyson Fury. There's no way he was just relying on the right hand anymore. Tyson Fury kind of took that away from him. So he's going to have to develop something else. Another guy I think will be good help for Wilder is Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis is a big heavyweight. Lennox Lewis, we've seen in the past, showing Wilder how to properly throw a jab. Lennox Lewis will definitely be a big asset to help Deontay Wilder out. He also knows what it's like to lose and to get stopped in a fight and then bounce back and continue to do great things. So there's a lot of guys out there that could possibly help Deontay Wilder. Definitely Lennox Lewis. He was a really, really technical, fighting off the jab, and he had the big right hand followed behind it. Really, really. What's the best way to describe Lennox Lewis? Lennox Lewis, to me, is one of the best heavyweights of all time. So, of course, what else really could I say? Now, as far as teaching, that's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? But I think all these guys, and maybe some others I may have missed, will be a really big asset to Wilder. Wilder seems to have strayed away from the fundamentals of boxing. And could you really blame him? You know what I'm saying? A guy who really wasn't boxing his whole life, is not really naturally ingrained in his DNA yet. So even though he's been doing it for 10 years, he's been really just knocking motherfuckers out with that right hand. And I also think Deontay Wilder needs to do, and what needs to focus on, instead of plodding around the ring, maybe he's getting older, maybe his legs not the same, but if his legs are still there, he shouldn't be plodding around the ring, moving all slow. Deontay Wilder needs to get back to being unpredictable, being fast on his feet, and using every ability, using all his athletic ability to the fullest. Because let's be honest, he's never going to make up for the boxing experience that Tyson Fury has. He's never going to catch up. So he's going to have to use every advantage he has in a fight with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, I always felt, was Deontay Wilder's toughest matchup on paper anyway. You know what I'm saying? Even years ago, before they fought, when they got in each other's face years ago, I forgot what fight it was. I think it was it was a Wilder fight. Fury was there. Got in the ring with him. I said then, Fury would be Wilder's toughest fight, not AJ. And I was right. You know what I'm saying? Despite all the glove game, we ain't talking about none of that bullshit. We talking about actual boxing here. Who could help Deontay Wilder out the most? Who do you think? Is it some of the guys that I named? Or is it some guys that you've been thinking about yourself? Leave it in the comment section. We're going to see, man. Deontay Wilder seems to be doing okay. Like I said, he's popping pistols, and he's slowly creeping back out into the world. You know what I'm saying? It was a big loss for the champ. You know what I'm saying? He's a prideful guy like Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? He'll eventually probably come out and talk about it, but now it's not the time. Now it's time to get prepared for war. And who should Deontay Wilder take with him? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.